Shalom, Akim. Shalom. Before we get started with this lesson, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. As always, we want to give double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. We're the brothers from Great Millstone, the camp of Austin, Texas, coming back with another Thursday live lesson. All right, on the call, I got the brother Kassad with me.
Shalom.
The brother Ban Malak.
Shalom.
And the brother Yaradan.
Shalom.
And once again, we're the brothers from Great Millstone, camp of Austin, Texas. And tonight's lesson, we're going to go into Psalm 64, okay? But before we go into this specific chapter in Psalm 64 regarding the secret counsel of the wicked, all right, we're going to go into Micah 2 and 10, all right, because the scriptures tell us that, first and foremost, we in captivity, all right? The nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are in captivity no matter where we find us to be at, no matter where we're scattered at. All right, we are yet this day in the land of our captivity where the Lord has scattered us, okay? And the scriptures command us to depart from the captivity we are in, all right? And with more of a reason, we got to depart. If a brother can hold that, Baba Kashal, Micah 2 and 10, because we're going to get into it, but the earth is given into the hands of the wicked also, okay? So if brothers don't got anything to add on, we're going to get straight to it. The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Yep, you see, and it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, all right? And this is a spiritually depart, right? Because obviously we know we in the land of our captivity, so it's telling you, hey, don't depart from this captivity you in, man. And we in Babylon the Great, all right, brothers, we here in Babylon the Great, which is America, okay? And it's coming to find out that, the wicked is in control, man. All kinds of atrocities are coming out in today's time. A bunch of stuff is the whole world is finding out that Babylon the Great is nothing but a people that are ruling in wickedness and, worshiping Satan, doing all kinds of atrocities and so on. So with more of a reason, we got to depart from this place, man, okay? Because, first of all, it's not our rest, all right? This ain't our kingdom, okay? But go ahead, read that again, Baba Kashar, bro, Micah 2 and 10.
Micah 2 and 10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. Mm-hmm. It shall destroy you, even with the sore destruction.
You see, so ultimately, it's going to destroy us, all right? If you're 10 toes down, and this kingdom is telling you first and foremost that it is polluted. All right, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. All right, so point is you depart, man, because this place is built to destroy you and it is ultimately to oppress you and so on.
That's right. If I may,
God.
We are yet this day in the land of our captivity, as the scriptures talks about. All right. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead. Let me grab that right quick, because Jake thinks that this is his heaven, or he's a part of Esau's kingdom in some way. No, you're here as a slave. You're here for punishment. Edomites' heaven is an Israelite's hell, and this is why we see the things we see happening on the world stage. Okay. Or is that the Baruch 2 and 30?
I got you.
Okay, you got it, brother. Or is it 4?
Uh,
4:30. Yeah, that's 3 and 8, Slacky. I got it.
this is Luke chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where there has scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord, Yahweh our power.
That's right. So we're here to serve our sentence, so to speak, you know, for not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments that we agreed to keep. All right. When we came out of the land of Egypt, you got it, brother. You continue on that.
Okay. This is Luke chapter 3, verse 9. It says, Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
All right.
How it happened?
You got it.
Sorry. How it happened in Israel that thou art in thy enemy's land,
Right.
that thou art waxed. Sorry.
That's right. Start back up at 9 right quick, brother.
Okay. Luke 3 and 9. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
You got it.
Verse 10. How happened it Israel that thou art in thy enemy's land?
Right. So we're not in our land. We are in our enemy's land. Okay. So this is not our rest. Okay. You got it, brother. Jazmat. Bamalak.
Yeah. No, yeah. Because when you go into verse 9, it says, "Here Israel, the commandments of life." So, so as brother was going into, we were given commandments, right? We were given laws, statutes, and commandments, and we disobeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments. So now we find ourselves, as brother was going into, yet this day in our captivity, man. All right, where the Lord has scattered us for a reproach, right? A curse, man. So we ain't supposed to be glorified in the land of our captivity. We're supposed to be a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, right? This is basically, it's supposed to be hell, man. All right, for sure it ain't supposed to be our rest. Taking it back to Micah 2 and 10. Yeah, Radon, if you can get that one more time. Was that it? Kasad on Baruch?
Yeah. Calm, brother.
Okay.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction.
Yep, you see, so, we supposed to be subject to payments. We're supposed to be looked at as a cursed people and reproach, man. A reproach is, when somebody looks at you, with disgrace, they looking at you like, oh, man, what's this guy doing, man? Like with the disgust and so on. That's how our enemies, the heathens, all right, that's how our enemies look at us, man, in the land of our captivity. So for sure, this ain't our rest because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. But
I got one.
Yeah.
Right quick. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 45. It says, Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All right. So the state being in this low condition is a sign and wonder, and ultimately is evidence that proves that we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, because the true biblical Hebrew Israelites will be at the bottom of society. Okay, so the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American, Indians are Yahweh's chosen people on the face of this earth. Yasharala, he princes of the power. You got it, brother.
Well, I got precept as well. You got it, brother. We're going to go on to that book of St. Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28, because just read the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse, I think, 9, it said, the commandments is wisdom. You know, and Brother Star just read out the book of Deuteronomy, you know, that, you know, we're in the hands of our enemies, man. So if we're in the hands of our enemies, and we're not yet this day, we're still yet this day in our captivity, we need rest, man, and we can only get rest selected by Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shah. So the book of St. Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28, it says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem and Yahweh Shah is going to give us rest. The scriptures also tell us in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, it says what? Remember the Creator in the days of thy youth, before the days of evil take place. So if we know the evil is getting ready to come to the earth, we should be turning to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah for that comfort, for that rest and comfort, man. Can St. Matthew 11:28, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So this is a light thing for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah to raise back up the house of Israel, you know, in these last days. Yahweh, he pressed of the power. The brothers just spoke on that. So that's a light thing for the Lord. He took over the hard burden. So now all we got to do is just return back to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Come, brother. If a brother can give me Job 9 and 24, you know, just to bring that out, because you know, is this place is polluted and it's ultimately built to destroy us because it's given into the hands of the wicked, man. All right, and the wicked have always been against the righteous, man, and only ones that could be righteous are the Israelites, as we read Baruch 3 and 9, give ear to commandments of life. You know, it's wisdom. All right, but yeah, if a brother can get that Job 9 and 24.
It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Yep, and this is Esau, Edom. All right, because through the process of elimination, who's covered the faces of the judges, man? Who's covered the face of the Most High, Yahweh? Who's covered the face of his beloved son, Yahweh Shai? All right, who's depicted himself to be a higher power, man? You see, who's been spreading out this white supremacy, man, for a long time, you know, for years. All right, it's the self-proclaimed white man, which is Esau, Edom in the scriptures. Okay, so the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? So if it's not Esau, Edom that's doing this, then who is it? It's obviously Esau, Edom. When you look up certain things, look up certain images, type up certain titles on Google, you're gonna get answers. You know, you're gonna get you doing your research, and you're gonna come to find out, you know, the ones that cover the faces were the Edomites, man. So they gotta be the wicked. And in today's time, right, brothers are in the know, Esau's being exposed to be that wicked, man. All these atrocities are coming out. You know, it's coming. You coming to find out. You know, certain people, high-ranked people in politics and the government, they over here worshiping Satan. You know, so this truth is coming out to who the wicked is, man. And it's evident that Esau, Edom, is that wicked. And just to land back on Micah 2:10, because, we started off with that precept, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. And it's mostly, ain't our rest, because it's given into the hands of the wicked. All right, the wicked is in control ultimately.
Right. Right quick. Like the brother is going into the whole earth is figuring out that Esau is the wicked of the world. Everything he's done in the dark is being showed in the light right now. So the Lord has revealed to us, the prophets, the men of the Lord of the house of Israel, who the wicked is throughout scriptures and filtering reality through the Bible and everything. We can see that the devil only comes to steal, kill, and destroy. All right, and this is what the men of the Lord been preaching. Starting with apostles and elders of Great Millstone, on down, and men that have received this message from the Holy Spirit. But this this devil has been exposed now on a high level. So now the whole world is realizing that this man is the devil. This man is wicked. So the earth is really saying that, man, there is a wicked lineage on the face of this earth. And all he's doing is stealing, killing, and destroying, man. He hates humankind. Okay? All he wants to do is rape, rob, and kill. And that's what he's doing. But this is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And the king of Babylon is the Edomites, starting with the elite banking families and everything. But it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, her philosophies, doctrines, ideology, white supremacy, everything that Esau pushes, feminism, colorism. All right. And it says, so the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, because they realize that it was all a sorcery, witchcraft, a rebellious behavior, and everything that Esau has pushed throughout the whole world to ultimately to rebel against order, rebel against what Yahweh has created. That's why he's trying to create his own nation of like-minded Edomites. It's Esau kind, not humankind or Yahweh's kind that the Lord created, but Esau's trying to create his own everything right now to defy Yahweh. But man, the nations see how he's moving, and this is why there's a line being drawn in the sand right now. Those who stand by and watch Esau doing what he's doing and not saying anything about it and going along with it. All right, then you have those who are looking at him like, nah, man, you are absolutely the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, and that's the prophets of the Lord, at the end of the day, that are really going to be standing up against this man and not bowing the knee to Baal. All right, not bowing the knee to Esau. But you got it, brother.
No, yeah, brother, because just how you going into the whole world is seeing that this man is all he's pushing is Satanism. When you really think about it, it all goes back to Satanism. Do as thou will. All right, and now they see the consequences of taking upon that those philosophies. And now these nations are like, damn, we shouldn't have taken off these philosophies, because look at my people now. Look at the condition of our people. Right, so now they've seen the consequences of taking Esau's philosophies and all that stuff. Now these nations are getting fed up about it, man. Especially the times we're in right now, them being exposed. These Edomites, man, they're cannibals. They really out there putting their wickedness so this world can see. But it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that is confirming who is the wicked in these times.
Right. He said, I have made Esau bare.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Lord is lifting up his skirts, and he will not be able to hide. So that means it's going to be more filth, more disgusting details about how Esau has really been getting down out here that is getting ready to come out. We are just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. It's gonna be more and more and more until Esau just said, "Man, fuck it," and just go in like he's supposed to go in, like a madman, sparing none, because he's not gonna be able to lift up his head. He's not gonna be able to live by nobody. And at the end of it all, Esau's gonna be a chase row. He's gonna be chased all around this place. People gonna be beating his ass everywhere they see him. You know, that's what is coming. That's Esau's fate. You know, so you got it, brother.
Oh yeah, you got it, bro.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 3. It said, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. You know, Esau, going into the brother, he's going into Psalm 64. You know, this devil was always occupied in evil, man. And that alms, it can be charity or mercy. And Esau don't show mercy to no one. Esau, he don't show mercy to anyone. So, and again, Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil. And Esau, even the so-called self-professed white man, their nation is always occupied in evil. We're talking about the elite banking family. Nor to him that giveth no alms.
That's Ecclesiasticus, Sirach.
Yeah, Sirach chapter 12 verse 3.
Brother. The water.
I got one. I'm trying to land back off your brother Obama law.
Got it?
You got it, bro?
This is Jeremiah 13 and 23. So can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may he also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So that, Esau, can't do good because he was created to be the wicked. So therefore, that's what he's going to, push and promote is wicked. That was it, you brother Daddy.
No, yeah, Khan, because Malachi 1 and 4 tells you that they shall call them the border of wickedness. All right, the land everywhere they dwell at is nothing but wickedness, man. All pure wickedness, lawlessness, all this profanity that all comes from Esau, Edom.
Right.
But John, you got it, bro.
You're right. I was gonna say that's why, this America, Babylon the Great, is fixed up off of hyper sexuality, hyper aggressiveness, violence, and everything. Everything that's outside the scriptures ultimately. But man, this is why you see the things you see in this world, because Esau's in rulership. So he spread nothing but filth everywhere. Everything has to be sexualized here to the T. Every commercial, every cereal box, whatever it is something they trying to sexualize. People are so quick to try to harm you or act aggressive towards you these days. So defensive all the time, because it's the vibration that Esau puts out while he's in rulership, throughout the earth. And you see why now, because as these fowls are exposing him for being that beast-like man, that savage, uncivilized creature he is, you see that, man, he's just doing this is normal to him, this hypersexuality and violence, this is his normality, this is what he breathes on the day-to-day. That's what people have to realize and come to the realization of in this time, especially the Negroes, Hispanic, Native American Indians. All right, you had that black woman on the stage talking about just get off his back and let him do his job and shit. This man he's doing his job, which is deifying this earth, making this place wicked. The scriptures tells us in Second Ezra chapter 15 how wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth. His hurtful works are fulfilled. He's done his job. At the end of the day, he can't bring no peace to this earth, no justice to this earth, no righteousness to this earth. Like the brother Yaradan has said, he can't change the fact of who he is. He is the devil, the Bible speaks of, man, the deceiver. Ultimately. But you got it, brothers.
No, yeah, Khan, because Jake and Eve will try to justify this devil, man.
Right.
It's like, damn, the condition of our people, man. Our people gonna be ashamed for trusting and justifying the wicked atrocities Esau Edom be doing.
Right.
But
because they'll scrutinize us, right? It talks about that in the scriptures about those who try to justify the wicked and how it's an abomination.
Done.
Grab that right quick.
I got a quick precept.
You got it, brother.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 11, and verse 21. It says, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished." So, you got you got Eve. She up there talking about, allow, Nero to do his thing. But, you can join hand in hand with the wicked all you want, but they're not going to go unpunished.
Right.
It said, "But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And the seed of the righteous is the hope elect of the house of Israel." That consists of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Mainly the men that are coming out of Great Millstone, and those that are following the doctrine that we teach you at Great Millstone. But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Right. So like the brother's going to, she's fulfilling biblical prophecy at the end of the day. She that is my enemy. She's up there. She's a grandma, like she was saying. And yes, we're going into the news clip of the lady at the Black History Month ceremony that was up there praising Trump. All right, the T-Man. And so, she's got bodies. She's led that life of death and destruction, a cycle of motherless children or fatherless children and everything. She talked about one of her grandsons getting gunned down in them streets. Who raised this youngster? At the end of the day, had him out there in the streets. We don't know him, what he was doing. He might have been robbing somebody. Ain't no telling what he was up to and what he was doing at the end of the day. But we understand that the issues of life and death is up to the Lord. But just by the contents of the character, this individual that was up there, she's wicked, man. She raised a whole bunch of wicked individuals to follow up behind her. But this is Proverbs 17 and 15. It says, "He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord Yahweh our power," man. All right? So as she was up there justifying the wicked, and want to condemn the just are the ones who's crying out about what the hell is going on in this world. Crying out about what they see happening on the day-to-day, how people are being treated, how people are being restricted from things they should just naturally, normally receive on a day-to-day. All right? So it says, "And the just are the righteous of the Lord." It says, "Even they both are abominations to the Lord," man. So, man, the wicked are abominable to the Lord at the end of the day. All right? Those who are walking hand in hand with the wicked. You got it, brother.
Yeah, kind of. If brothers don't got anything, we can jump down to Psalm 64.
You got it.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O Yahweh power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy."
And this is a psalm of King David. Okay, and we know King David was a man after the Most High's heart. You see, so verse 1 is going into "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy." You see, so King David, he had enemies, man. And the scriptures talk about the nation of Israel also having enemies themselves too. In Psalms 83, you go into the nations that are confederate, the nations that are rising up and, are basically going against, and roughly paraphrasing, they're going against the Most High Yahweh. Okay, they're confederate, they're allied together, and ultimately their goal is to basically keep the name of Israel be no more, man. All right, they trying to hide they're doing whatever they can, man, to keep Israel at the bottom and keep themselves at a higher state. So the point is, that we got enemies, man. All right, and if a brother can get Psalms 139 real quick, verse 20 to 21.
Right. This is Psalms 139, 21. It says, "Do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hate thee, and am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?"
You see, so there's certain nations that hate the Lord Yahweh, man, and that have risen up against our heavenly power Yahweh. And these are the heathens, man. The heathens you read about in Psalms 83rd chapter. Go ahead, bro. You can get the next precept, verse 22.
It says, "I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies."
You see, so and this was King David also. All right, he said, "I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies." You see, so us as a people, we got enemies, man. And if King David hated our enemies, how much more us, man? Did not the scripture say that the Lord would raise up the tabernacle of David in the last days? All right, so it's okay to hate, man, because we got enemies that are plotting against our downfall. That take secret counsel and so on. Okay, so point is, we got enemies, man. Brother can hit verse 2 in Psalm 64. Brothers don't got anything.
This is Psalms chapter 64, verse 2. "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity."
So hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Now we've been going on to who the wicked is, man. All right, we understand now that this wicked, and it stays from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, is Esau Edom. All right, because he is the wicked, and he does all these things, man, in secret. All his stuff that he's been doing in secret, all right, is coming out to light. All right, but it says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked." So these wicked individuals are always plotting, man. They're a people of wrongdoers. All right, and go ahead, bro. Verse 3.
Hold on, I think I got one.
Okay.
Yeah, bring it out right quick. Let's see. This is Job 5:12. It says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." All right. So, as the King David is asking to be hid from that secret counsel of the wicked, all this craftiness that they're using to try to offset Jake, destroy Jake, and their devices that they have, ultimately that device is that RFID micro C-hip, the mark of the beast. But the Lord is going to disappoint his craft, his enterprise, at the end of the day, his plans. You got it, brother.
I know. Yeah, you know what? I had a precept also. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." You see, and this is Esau Edom. All right, they can't be at rest, man. They always searching out iniquities. It's in their natural state to be the wicked, man. Because once again, when you go into Malachi, it tells you that they are the border of wickedness, and throughout the scriptures, you can't make something straight that's crooked, and that's Esau, man. Esau is crooked, and you can't make him straight. So you can't make Esau righteous, man. He was created to be the wicked.
That's right. Beautiful. Got it already done.
This is Psalm 64 and 2 against his hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Who, verse 3, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Yep, and this word wet, when you go into the root word etymology, it goes back to a Hebrew word, all right, H8150, all right, its pronunciation is shanan, all right, the outline of biblical usage is to sharpen, all right, so Esau, he sharpens, as it said right there, give me a sec, loading it up. Go ahead, bro, read that for me, Kasha.
Psalm 64 and 3 says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
All right, so they sharpen. That's what they're doing. They're sharpening their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. And this is Esau also in Psalms. It tells you that, you know, their words would be smooth as butter and so on, but war was in their heart. You see, that's because that's the natural of Esau, man. Go ahead, bro.
You want the Psalms? You want to keep the team?
Oh, no, it's all good. You know, I was just elaborating, you know. But yep, Esau is the one who's sharpening their tongue like a sword. All right, he's a false accuser. You know, he's always doing his laws and legislations and unrighteous laws and legislations. All right, bitter words and so on. He's a wicked individual, man.
Okay.
I got a precept.
You got
it, bro.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 20.
If you may, if you can start at let's see, can you start at 19 and read that all the way down to 23? I was looking at that as well.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94, and verse 19 says, in the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul. Verse 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, with framers mischief by law.
Right? So Esau is framing mischief by law. So law is a weapon. It's being weaponized, you know, ultimately to offset Jake, to destroy the Hebrew Israelites, to destroy the Negro, Hispanic, and American Indian. And another thing about this is that this world in which we live in is the stats, the statistics. You know, everything is being counted and calculated at this point in time. So men lie, women lie, but these numbers are not lying. All right, we are mass incarcerated inside this place. Our families are destroyed. You know, come from broken homes. A lot of us. We see the poverty of our people on a day in and day out. You know, so we see that Esau's craft has been working to destroy many. At the end of the day, that's his sorcery that he's using inside of this word, that these words he's using to basically protect him, the Edomites, you know, the nation of the so-called white people, and destroy the black and brown people on the face of this earth, criminalize, villainize the so-called black and browns people and everything. You got it, Bond.
So I can just add to that.
Yep.
You know, they also have a thing that Nero is doing. He got a board of peace, the president pursuit of peace. You know, and that just shows you that, you know, these devils, you know, he going to frame, that he's getting ready to, you know, he got his board together that they going to try to create peace. You know, and all they doing is framing mischief, you know, by law within that board of peace. Because the niggas telling you they trying to make you take a MOT to the beat. That's not a board of peace. Making people put a digital device, you know, trying to merge humanism with technology, transhumanism.
There's some more.
Verse 21. It says they gathered themselves together against the souls of the righteous and condemned the innocent blood.
That's right.
Verse 22. But the Lord Yahweh is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge.
That's right. You got it.
Verse 23. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness.
Woo.
Yea, the Lord Yahweh, our power, shall cut them off.
That's right, man. So that's the name of the game. You reap what you sow. You know, coming down on Esau. Everything he's doing, everything he's put into this earth is gonna come back upon him, and he's brought nothing but hell. So he's gonna receive hell. Brother had brought out earlier how Esau is ruled with no mercy. So man, he's not gonna receive any mercy. You know, the scripture goes into that. You know how he who is showed no mercy shall receive no mercy. Okay, so he's still to this day, as all these crimes against him is coming out, he's not giving any account to for the labors of the Negro, Hispanic, Native American Indians. He's not criminalizing himself for this PDF situation that's coming out. He's trying to just basically sweep it under the rug and keep on pushing. But man, all these things is getting ready to fall upon him like a breach when it collapses. You got it, brother. Tazamah.
No, you're calm, bro. We were in verse 4, Yaradan in Psalm 64.
This is Psalm 64 and 4. That it may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Yeah, and go ahead, bro. You got it. Salaki, bro. You got it.
It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Yep, so it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. You see, so everything Esau does, right? Because ultimately Esau Edom, is a wicked individual, a man of sin, as the scripture goes into. All right, he be doing everything in secret, thinking that the Most High ain't looking. But it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and this perfect is going to the Israelites, man, starting with the elect. All right, certainly do they shoot at him and fear not. You see, because Esau is described to have a great pride, man. All right, the book of Obadiah goes into that the pride of thine heart have deceived thee. All right, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. All right, this is Esau Edom, man. He don't fear nothing because he thinks himself to be as a higher power, man. Go ahead, bro. Continue verse 5.
Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them?
You see, and this is a mindset of Esau. All right, first and foremost, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. All right, so they encourage each other in evil plans, man, because they are the border of wickedness, once again. All right, they talk about hiding their snares. All right, and the biggest snare Esau is trying to set out, ultimately, is the charagma, man. The MOTB. All right, that's the biggest trap. They want to trap people in, man. It says, who shall see them? You see, who will see it? That's the mindset of Esau. He thinks nobody is going to search him out. He thinks nobody's going to make him there, but it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that's keeping an eye on these individuals, man. Through the angels, right? Because the scriptures go into that the eyes of the Lord are brighter than 10 times, or was 10 times brighter than the sun, roughly paraphrasing. Good. So, even, what was that? Go ahead, you got it.
I'll get it for you. Let's see.
Baba Kasha.
That'll be, what is that? Ecclesiastes, is that 23? Yeah.
Bring it out, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth it? Like the brother Tazimar was going into, Esau Edom, he seek deep to try to hide his plans from the Heavenly Father. And since he does it, when nobody's looking, behind closed doors, he's thinking that nobody would see him or nobody would know that it's him that's doing it. But, Amos 3:7, the Lord has revealed, his secret unto the servants, the prophets, and everything that's done in the dark will be manifest and it will come to the light to reveal, who this devil really is. You brothers got it.
Brother.
The book of Ecclesiastes 23 and verse 19, and the brother Tazimar was speaking that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Ecclesiastes, Sirach, chapter 23 and verse 19, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, and considering the most secret parts.
Yep, that's the one. Now you see, because it says, "Such a man only feareth the eyes of men," and you could relate that to Esau, man. He don't think Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is looking at him. All right, but as the brother just read, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the angels, the ones that are taking notes, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right, beholding all the ways of men, and it says, and considering the most secret parts, and that's going into Esau also, man, because everything Esau does is in secret, man, because at the end of the day, Esau, he's a sorcerer, man, right? He's a wizard, a warlock, right? He's a satanic, profane individual, man. But if brothers don't got anything, we could get verse 6 and Psalm 64.
Let's see. All right, Khan, you got it.
No, well, okay, Khan, you got it, y'all down.
This is Psalm 64, verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and their heart is deep.
Yep, you see, because they search out iniquities, right? So they're plotting injustice, man. All right, because once again, Esau is wicked, right? This is their mindset, and it ultimately says they accomplish a diligent search. You see, because at the end of the day, that's all Esau can push out is lawlessness, wickedness, a confusion. All right, this is how Esau is, man. His characteristics, searching out iniquities. All right, ultimately, he's devised a perfect plan.
Right. Scriptures talks about how he's he's wiser than Daniel. So Esau is a mad scientist, a master genius, and wickedness, and that's how the Lord has created him to be. This is Proverbs 4:16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall." All right. So Esau is up all night, even right now. Like they say, the devil ain't sleeping. The devil always on the job, trying to figure out how he can destroy people. Cause some to fall. But 17 says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness, and they drink the wine of violence," man. So once again, that brings us back to the point that, man, this is Esau in his element. He's just breathing. This is what comes natural to him. As soon as the wicked be born, he's born speaking lies. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. This is Esau, and the spirit that's dwelling within Esau, which is not upright. He's outside of the temple. And it goes into the scriptures when it says that who sees me, meaning that who's gonna judge me. when it comes down to it. That we had read in what's that verse 5? It says in 64 and 5, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter, they commune of laying snares privately, secretly. It says they say, who shall see them? And so they're basically saying, who's going to judge me? Who's going to stop me from doing the things that I'm doing? And that's Esau to the fullest. You look at the T-man, the so-called the man that's in charge, the commander in chief right now. He's like, so what? He literally said back when he was coming into this thing of being a commander in chief, he said he can delete somebody on Saxon Fifth or something, and nobody will do nothing about it, or walk up and grab her by the vagina. He was saying all this heinous things, and people just laughed it off like, man, what is he talking about? But now we see what he's talking about. He's like, well, I do whatever the fuck I want to do. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. But you got it.
No, that's right. Go ahead, brother. You can hit verse 7.
This is Psalm 64 and 7. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
Yep, and we understand this arrow is going into that shoot, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, all right, which is that destruction, man. All right, because that's the way Esau Edom is going out. The scripture's going to Babylon the Great is fallen with great violence, roughly paraphrasing it. All right, the Most High is going to shoot at Esau's kingdom, right, which is Babylon the Great. He's going to shoot arrows at them, man. You see, suddenly shall they be wounded, but this wound, right? You could go into when the prophets started coming out. When the prophets received the spirit of life, right? That was the end of Esau, man. From 1969, 1970, right? When the man rose up, certain men, high priest Elder Robert Bivens, high priest Elder Yaiquab, King Masha, high priest Ariah, all those men, were men that the Lord raised up to basically condemn Esau Edom and wake up the nation of Israel. But this is where they're wounded. If you want to go into this is where the wounded begin. But the Most High is going to shoot at them with an arrow, which is those ICBMs, that thermonuclear destruction. And I actually got a precept for that. If a brother can get Isaiah 34 and verse 5.
This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven.
Yep, and this sword that's being bathed in heaven is the missiles, man. That those missiles are going to touch down here in Esau's kingdom, Babylon the Great. It's an order from the heavens, man. It's being bathed in heaven, the sword, that ICBM, those thermonuclear missiles. You got it, brother.
Isaiah 34 and 5 from the top. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, there shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
You see, in Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right, so the Lord is going to send out a sword, man, upon Idumea, the people of his curse, all right, because Esau Edom is a cursed people, man, all right, and the Most High, he's going to judge Esau Edom with the sword, with this thermonuclear destruction.
That's right. If a brother want to get that Job chapter 20, start at 22.
Job chapter 20, and verse 22, and it reads, And the
So, right, like you're seeing right now, he's in straits, goes into difficulties. He's not having it easy. The things that are befalling on him, all these crimes and evidence being brought up, and the fulfillment of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So at the end, he's gonna be in straits. You got it.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, power Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
That's right.
Verse 24. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and that bow of steel shall strike him through.
So that's the ICBM the brother's talking about. These scriptures talking about. That's getting ready to come upon Idumea, the house of Edom, the Edomites. All right, you got it.
Verse 25. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him.
Right, it goes into the missile silos. All right, the glittering spear, that's the missile. All right, and terrors are upon him. So man, it's gonna be terrifying to ultimately the world when they see these things happen. Just in the news, I believe yesterday, the Pentagon had posted that there's going to be strikes on the motherland. Be prepared for that. That's something that you're going to see in the near future. That's what the Pentagon said. So man, we living in these times. Biblical prophecies and scriptures are being fulfilled, and we understand that this place has to go down in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established on earth. To rise up. It talks about that in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and 7. But you got to Tazama.
No, yeah, come, brother. That was it. On my part,
Might as well hit that last precept.
Okay, in Psalm 64.
Yep.
Con, go ahead. Whoever got it, brother.
This is Psalm 64 and 8.
Yep.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Right.
Yep, and you got it, bro.
No, you got it.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, man. You got certain whistleblowers, that have came out, spoken, against Esau, against, his schemes, his devices, and so on, right? So, the whistleblowers have been out there. The whistleblowers, people that come speaking of the truth about them. That's going into the soul. They shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Right.
Edomite telling on Edomite. You got it, bro.
No, like the brother said, Edomites telling on Edomites people. Because there's no such thing as white or black. That's social and color constructs that the Edomites have pushed for white supremacy ideology and everything. But you got so-called white people getting on white people for trying to be supreme when there's nothing supreme about them. They have no culture. And most of them are T-rest, all right, or mass deleters and PDFs and Mo's as well. So man, it's a lot of filth getting poured upon them, as the scripture says, I'm pouring abominable filth upon their glory. All right, but you got it, brother.
Go ahead, bro. You get hit verse 9.
This is Psalms 64:9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
Yep, and all men that shall fear the elect. All right, because the elect fear the Most High, man. All right, the fear is the beginning of wisdom. And it says, and shall declare the work of the Most High, right? They're going to proclaim the the mighty acts that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is gonna do on these wicked individuals, man, the Edomites. And ultimately it says they shall wisely consider of his doing, man. And because you're gonna realize, the work that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has done, a righteous recompense, man.
Right.
Go ahead, bro. You got the next precept, verse 10.
Psalm 64:10. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord Yahweh, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory.
Yep, and then the righteous, once again, is going into the Israelites, right, starting with the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, we gonna rejoice in the Lord, man. Yahweh, we gonna find they shall trust in him. Right, we know the Lord is a man that's not gonna slack concerning his promises, man. He's gonna come to deliver his elect, destroy the wicked, right? And and all the upright and the heart shall glory, man. So the elect, man, we gonna be glad in the Lord and put all our trust in him, in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and proclaim the mighty works that the Lord has done ultimately.
Right. I mean, and that's basically us being translated out of these bodies into the new bodies, getting that crown of righteousness. Our kingdom being established on earth. We're gonna be rejoicing in that time frame. The brothers want to get that second Ezra chapter 2 and 42 and go through that right quick, and that could be a lesson.
I believe that's the one that goes in receiving the palms and all that.
Con.
Second Ezra chapter 2 and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
Right, 144,000, a large multitude. You got it.
And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
Right, and we know that to be Yahweh Shai. You got it, brother.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these?
Yeah.
He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
Right. So the scriptures tells us constantly to put off that mortal, put off that flesh. But ultimately, when Yahweh Shai comes, we're gonna permanently put off that flesh. Because right now we are walking after the spirit. We're not walking after the flesh, to the best of our ability. Okay, but when the Lord comes, this flesh is gonna be done with, and we're gonna be in that immortal, that new body. And these are the men who have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned with and receive palms. So these men are the ones who are out here doing what they have to do, what's required. Preaching this gospel, confessing the name of the Lord inside this world in which we're living in right now. All right? You got it?
No, yep. Okay, my bad, Salaki, bro. You got it.
The second Ezra 2 and 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? 47. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Right. So that's the righteous. in which this Psalms the 64th chapter and verse 10 is going into, that are glad in Yahweh. These are those that trust in his name. You know, they trust in his name in his world and everything. They stood so stiffly, meaning they was, not moved or shaken about what Esau was doing, but knew that the words of the Heavenly Father were faithful and true. He's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. And so this is what the men are going to receive, that reward, which is that crown of righteousness. You got it, brother. Have him out.
No, yep, I believe that's it. If brothers don't got anything, we close it out. That was it on my part.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. Until the next one, shalom.
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 Shalom.